Welcome to the Nightly Rant. I'm Mike.
And I'm Toria.
This is the show where we talk about the awful things that have happened in our day, the awesome things that have happened in our day,
and all the things in between.
Thanks for listening, and we truly hope you enjoy.
Do you think people have the capability of considering others?
No.
You don't. You don't think people ever consider others?
I think they have the capability, but they have the lack of want.
Do you think, like I do, that perhaps most people are only accommodating towards their friends?
Well, yeah, they only care
and nobody
else.
else.
Give a shit about.
And even then, when they're accommodating towards their friends, they're still only accommodating just so far. It's not like with the kids. They can have the worst behavior possible. We're not kicking them out. They're here to stay.
That's true.
You know? And I think, my personal opinion, is that people don't think about strangers. And if you'll notice, what starts to happen, people start to talk to one another, and then they start to care about what those people think about their behavior. So they might not be perfect, but they do a better job. And I think that's why there's like degrees of how much people care.
You think if all the people in our apartment building got to know each other, that the apartment building would be less of a colossal pile of trash?
If there was certain groups that got to know each other, yes. You know why? It's because you get to know people. Like let's face it. How many times have we said to Deborah, so-and-so, person from across the hall, said X, and she doesn't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's because she's on the complete other side.
Yeah. No.
She doesn't see those people like we do, and vice versa.
Forever.
And vice versa.
The only difference is when she points out somebody who's nice, then I look for them. And I just think they're nice.
Well, but by the same token, I'm going to say this too. We also walk through the building to get to the car and back from the car through the building to our apartment.
Yeah, she doesn't
have to do that. She has like 2 feet to go.
Yeah.
It's not like she has a lot of time interacting with people.
The entire building
around
influences us. Only her corner influences her.
Exactly. So, but I think, like, the reason I thought about this is because the people throwing the trash bags on the ground. Like,
I'm more offended by the trash soup in the elevator, to be honest.
I may feel like, yeah, there was a little bit of space. You should have thrown your trash bag there. But hey, if it's full, it's full. You're going to have to put it on the ground. Right. When it really bothers me is when it's just been emptied and they just leave their trash on the ground. Or worse, the people who used to throw it on top of the closed trash dumpster.
I was so happy when those assholes moved out.
Like, who teaches people to act like that?
I don't know.
And I just thought it was funny.
Or like the people today who left an ocean of fresh trash juice covering the entirety of the floor of the elevator. Do you want to know what I would do if it was the middle of the day and I'd covered the elevator floor with trash juice?
Go clean it up.
Either I would go upstairs, get our mop and bucket and clean it the fuck up, or I would go ask the building manager if I could borrow their
Well, I would take it a step further than you. And I would take it a step further than you, tell you the truth. I would be calling her on the phone, and I would be turning the elevator off.
I didn't know you could turn the elevator off.
Yeah, there's this on-off switch.
Wouldn't that be rude if somebody desperately needed it?
No, because you almost killed yourself going into the elevator.
Do you know how offended I would have been had I fallen and landed in fresh trash juice?
You know how offended I would have been if you had fallen and broken something? Like maybe your skull?
I'm kind of fond of my head, so,
I mean, yeah, so point taken.
Most likely I would have broken my ass.
Something would have been broken and it wouldn't have been good.
No padding, so, it's the most likely thing
And
to
that's
break.
that's just going to suck. Something like that happens.
Yeah, I agree. It would have been pretty shitty.
So, let's talk about something here.
Okay.
I really like this content creation stuff that we do. I really like it a lot. It's fun.
Okay.
And that, like, at the beginning of the year, I launched the Zoo Media Network, and it's there, but it's not doing jack. It's just there. And then I neglected it for a couple of months because, hey, it's just sitting there and not doing jack, and I figured I needed to kind of redo it. So I'm going to redo it with more...
You're going to relaunch
general...
the Zoo?
Yep, with more general information. Wow. So I'm going to launch it with like a sports show.
That's exciting.
And then like a streaming show. Like, what are we watching right now?
We'll talk about the flicks of all nets.
Yeah. You can join me on that one from time to time, or all the time, or never. It's up to you. And...
maybe.
And we'll have... I'll still do the zoo...
report?
The zoo report videos.
Because the zoo report is just effing cute.
It's cute and fun. And there'll be some free content there as well.
Whoop, whoop.
And
we'll make sure we let all of you lovely people know when there's new free content.
The biggest thing about it is we're finally going to start doing, come the first Sunday in October, the Nightly Rant Uncensored. Or did we want to call it the Nightly Rant Unleashed?
That makes me think of Petco. I don't know how okay, so I like the concept behind Unleashed, but I'm not sure how I feel about Unleashed.
Well, give it some thought. We don't have to make a decision right now. I mean, after all, Odie's already asleep.
Yeah,
and Yogi's asleep, and they need to have a vote. Odie gets 1/10 of a vote. And Yogi gets 2 votes. So
no, he gets 1.9 votes. He used to get 2 votes, but he gave 1/10 of a vote to Odie because he's nice.
Oh, okay.
We didn't add any additional voting power for the foster dog.
Okay. That's fair. I can go with that form of government. That seems fair, especially since... Did anyone force Yogi to give that 10th of a percent up?
Nope.
So it wasn't by force?
Mm-mm.
Okay, as long as it wasn't by force. You didn't fraudulently promise him something, did you?
No.
Okay, so if it wasn't by force
Odie
and fraud,
but I didn't.
If it wasn't force or fraud, and he willingly gave up that 10th of a percent, we're all good. Did you willingly give up that 10th of a percent, Yogi?
Silence is acceptance.
He says yes. He willingly gave it up. Okay, good. We're all good on that point. So, that brings me to the big news.
Whoop, whoop. We have big news.
That we can now talk about this week, but couldn't talk about last week.
I'm confused.
And by the time this airs, it should have already happened, actually.
I'm less confused now. Maybe.
Ashley is moving in with us to save money.
So there might be a third person on our podcast.
So we may have a third person who's kind of bubbly and interesting, who's as opinionated as me.
She can just replace Toria sometimes.
And maybe she'll come in and
Toria will just sit here and giggle.
Join us for the podcast. It'll be fun. We also may make another appearance on The Bitter Truth sometime soon, only this time together. And if I have it planned correctly, I just won't say anything and I'll let you do all the talking. And that'll be fun. I love it. So,
no.
So here's the thing, people. For those of you listening, if you see this on Facebook, leave a comment there. If you see this on our website, leave the comment there. I want to know, for the Zoo Media Network, besides a sports show, a streaming show, and the Zoo Report, what else would be interesting for you to see or hear, or both?
No porn, nothing gross.
Yes, nothing personal.
Well, maybe
Nothing
like
personal.
nothing
No, I mean
too
no,
personal.
I mean about the no porn. It's nothing personal.
Oh, I see.
But yes,
No
you
porn.
can like one idea would be we could add a certain tier that if we go hiking, we'll video parts of the hike and put it up as a video, and you can only people at a certain level can see that.
Which level are you going to put that soundbite of my mating call on?
It's gonna be free. For like 2 seconds of it, and then the rest of it's gonna cost money.
I can't even remember what it sounds like or how to make the sound I was making.
I mean, I thought about doing a dad jokes show, but the dad jokes show would last like half an episode and be done because there aren't enough dad jokes to make a difference. I've been trying to think of like some shows where, like, for instance, I could get some local celebrities / politicians / civic leaders, and interview them about whatever topic is hot for them. That was a thought I had. That takes a lot of work.
Local celebrity.
Well, like some of the homeless advocates, for instance. Council members.
I thought you meant someone else. I'll tell you later.
Interesting. That ought to be interesting. Can't wait to hear that. I might or might not tell you guys who she mentioned later.
I'll give you a hint.
Next episode. No hints. No hints. No hints. Shh.
No,
I will bleep it.
Just want to give you a hint. You were reading me Facebook posts from this person this morning.
Oh. I see, says the blind man to the cackling goose.
Whoop, whoop.
There's the title of this episode. I see, says the blind man to the cackling goose.
You're a cackling goose. Guess that makes me a blind man.
No, that's Odie. He's my albino friend. Our albino friend is still available for adoption. Go to dachshundsandfriends.org. And
Ask for Odie.
put in an application. Ask for the Odie boy.
He's cute as shit.
He's adorable, and he's lost 16 pounds?
15.
15 pounds since we've had this bad boy. He has lost a lot of weight.
He officially weighs less than the Yog of Dog.
Yes, by 0.2 pounds.
Whoop, whoop.
It's amazing.
And then I picked him up when we were downstairs because he was being a growly little jackass. And
He's so protective.
it wasn't like a struggle to hold him with one arm
No,
anymore.
it's kind of cute. He looks like a dog now. He doesn't look like a giant sausage. He looks like a dog, and it's really sort of cute.
Now, it'll take some time for him to get rid of that weird-ass roll on his butt. But once he
Yeah.
does, he's going to look adorable.
It's a cute little guy now. But then there's that. So that's the big news that Ashley's going to be back, and that'll be interesting. We've never had one of the big ones living here. We've had her stay here before.
But never live.
And honestly, having her stay here felt perfect. It was fine. Everybody got along. That's the good part.
Yeah.
And the
It'll
kids
be a little weird and awkward for a little bit, but
and the
that's
kids
fine.
weren't like overly like obnoxious with her or anything like that, which was good.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that I would worry about.
Yeah.
Because it does change things the most for them.
Well, not really.
Yes, really. Because their sister is now in the house with them, their older sister. So there's someone who's going to boss them around and tell them what to do.
I guess. She's pretty bossy. Ha
She takes after her dad.
No, she just treats them like every older sibling treats their younger siblings.
And it's been an interesting week.
More like it's been a long as fuck week.
Not to jinx it or anything, but it was a really good week. Started out not so good, ending pretty good. Yeah?
I can get on that bandwagon.
Yeah,
It
it's
ended
exciting.
on a not shitty note.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's better than last year this time. Last year this time we were dealing with all that fallout.
Yeah.
We survived all that, and here we are. Anyway.
Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye. Pretty girl.
Hi everyone, this is Mike, and I truly hope you enjoyed this show. You're able to subscribe to this show on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher so as to never miss an episode. If by chance you did miss an episode here or there, you can catch up on all shows, past and present, by heading over to yogispodcastnetwork.com/TNR show. Thanks for listening.